good afternoon, wherever you are. Um, Tonight again is Otumba Who on Otumba Who latest talk show. I refuse to call it a TV station because some people are saying "Jẹ́ olóró TV station," but many people do not understand how much I enjoy.
Daddy, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Can you hear me, Ellen?
Yes, loud and clear.
What about you? Fadeka, you can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
No, it must be from your end. Check your, because if I have the same wavelength set out here, but let me just benefit of whatever. Let me try and check again. But there's no reason why you cannot hear me. But never mind. It's all part of the show. Yeah, the setting is fine. Audio. Well, the studio audio is good. I don't know what's going on for some reasons. But Ellen, just stay where you are, please. I'll be. Can you hear me now, Fadike? Can you hear me now? Wow. What about now? Can you hear me? You can't hear me. All right, let me kick you out and come in again. Let me send another link. Can you hear that? Call me on my mobile phone so we can communicate, we can talk. But Ellie, you are okay, yeah?
I'm good, yes.
Fantastic. In fact, this is beautiful voice. I don't know what happens there. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, sir.
That is from your end. Okay. The other lawyer she's coming in now. Then, but we can get started. We already started, yeah. Well,
Okay.
Tonight I want to welcome our viewers all over the world. I have 4 ladies, 4 women to this international day of women. I mean for women.
International Women's Day.
International Women's Day.
IWD.
IWD. Can I seize this opportunity to wish you all women and those women that are
Shade, please.
Yeah, well, you need to take care of your background, Fadike.
It's not even me. There's a friend of mine that is online. She can see you, but you can't see her. So I can hear her background here.
Well, tell her she cannot come in. She can only contribute. We already started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. I was trying to wish all women of this world, from Papua New Guinea to somewhere in South Africa, where people are still being treated like anyhow. The love, affection men have for women, may the Almighty never let it cease. We always love women. And I'm sure women will always love men. So it's my pleasure welcoming you to this edition of Otumba Who Latest. And tonight, I have pleasure of inviting 4 women from different backgrounds, and I'm going to get them to introduce themselves one by one. 2 of them are already on the seat. The other 2, they're having challenges to join. And what bothers me is the one of the other 2 that have not been able to join is based in the UK. So what is going on, I don't know. But push come to shove, I will connect her on the phone. So when he gets, she'll be listening to the show, and then I can also ask her. These are the advantage of devices that are created by Oyibo people. Thanks to them. Well, let me start by asking the 2 guests I have in the studio to introduce themselves. Let me start by with Helen O. Obi. Helen Obi, what is the O for?
My name is Helen Olatokunbo Obi Okereke.
Obi Okereke. Wow. And nothing to hide, I think I've known you now since 1990.
Since 1989.
Hello, sorry, ma. Okay, 1989.
Yes.
Quite some time. My dearest daughter here, like the local people will say, Fadeke, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Mrs. Fadekemi Thomas Gafar.
Mrs. Fadekemi Thomas Gafar. I go back to Mrs. Okereke. What do you do, and where are you based? Can you tell our viewers just to know who you are, what do you do? And
I'm a lawyer by training. An activist by profession. I'm into human rights activism,
okay,
especially women and children. I am based both in the United Kingdom and in Nigeria, 65%, 35%, respectively.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to Otumba Who Latest Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Fadeke, can we have a taste of what do you do? Where are you based, roughly?
I'm a businesswoman. I'm based in Nigeria and United Kingdom. I would say like Nigerian 60 and UK 40%.
Oh, so you also like a kind of our women that shuttles, like the shuttle London, America, Nigeria, and so on. That sounds very that sounds very interesting. I wish I could.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That okay. You told me I want to appreciate you because you told me you have cold. Despite that, you choose to honor my invitation. I'm really very grateful to you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, yeah, the business of traveling, how enjoyable is it? What are the benefits, Ellen?
you can have what are the benefits? You have the best of 2 worlds. You have the day that I feel like Amalangbegiri from Yafatimo. I'm in Nigeria, it's in Amalangbegiri. The day that I feel like Anish, I'm in Finchley Road, it's in Anish. So you just get the best of 2 worlds.
Wow. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the other lawyer colleague. She's in London here. We're having issues with her connection, but let me call her so she can join us on the phone, and she can also introduce herself. Hello, Lawyer Toyin. Good evening, ma'am. Yeah, if only you can speak up a little, because I'm connecting you via my phone device. I genuinely,
Okay.
I genuinely do not know why we're
Yeah,
still
yes, I've been trying to sort it out, but I can't do it because I don't know what's going on. And
very
well,
unusual, because
I know I'm not used to
I
all
can.
this space anything. I've tried to do it, but I couldn't do it from my hand, right?
Okay, as the program progresses, maybe you can. But let's get started by getting to know who you are. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers all over the world?
Yes, I'm barrister Olutoyin Adenka Iwebe, based in the UK, where I work in the healthcare sector, and I'm
Okay,
a human rights activist and social crusader.
social crusader. I think we know each other now for about 2000 and something.
Yeah, I took out more than I think we met when you invited me to your program on Ben TV the other time. And about I think I appeared about 3 times on your
Okay,
program, and when I think during the elections of 2015, I'm not sure, or
thereabout, yeah.
2019.
And,
Yes.
and you're also prominent on my BBS, Ben Television
Yeah, yeah,
Breakfast.
that was where we met actually,
Yes,
and I
Eh,
think I appeared twice with some other people in the UK at that time.
that's right. And my co-host then, she's not late now.
Uh,
She
what?
she's late. Yeah, she died. She passed on.
I,
Uh, she was
oh,
buried
what's
in
the name again?
September. Yemi, Mrs. Yemi Akonde.
Oh yeah, yes, yes, yes,
She,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah,
my
yeah. That's
co-host.
good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Let me thank you for coming, and thank you very much for. And I'm sorry for this inconvenience. While we are still going on
No,
the program, we can still
yeah.
try to see if you can get connected to the studio. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
That's thank you.
yeah, I've asked other guests in the studio, what do they do for a living? And you said, well, can you just throw a little bit more light? So we want to know a little bit more about you.
Well, I trained as a lawyer in Nigeria, and I practiced in the UK for some time. Then I went back to university to do healthcare, and I worked with an organization at the management level.
Okay.
That's what I do. Yes,
Yeah, because healthcare, when somebody here, when you say healthcare, immediate definition of that to some people who are not well informed, they will
like
say,
yeah, we do an assessment.
okay,
My job generally is just to do an assessment and review for host people, to do the assessment. If they're going to the hospital, I do the assessment. If they're coming into, they're going to care home, I do the assessment and to know what they want, what actually they want. So I alliance with their family to know their needs, what
okay,
do their needs, the care, the review, and everything. That's the focus I do.
okay. Thank you very much. I welcome you again. Um, Tonight, I it's my pleasure to bring you to a topic. I cannot take any calls now. I'm not going to answer any calls. Um, I, I want to bring to your notice the ongoing controversies, even though it's a
Yes,
short notice. And I want to start
yeah,
with you. I want to start
yes,
with you because of the you are not in the studio. The ongoing
yes,
issue of who owns Lagos, the
yeah,
PDP, SPD, LP, blah blah blah, all
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
going for issue of, do you think that should be a factor? Who owns Lagos? Should that be a factor for
No, it
voting?
shouldn't.
Uh,
Yes, I mean, it shouldn't. And I think every time that we're having an election in Nigeria, we always face issue of tribalism. And the current imbroglio in Lagos, the issue of who owns what, I'm going to start from perspective of history, historical perspective. In 1906, according to report that I read, they said there was an amalgamation of southern protectorate with the northern protectorate. And at that time, Lagos State was made the the capital of that place at that time when Lord Lugard, in 1914, merged the two protectorates together. Now, the issue is who owns what? Who were the major settlers at that time? Who were the people that actually the indigenous? I won't say the aborigines, I won't say the indigenous at that time. We were made to believe that the Eguns, the Aworis, the Laje, the Bados, and all of them, they were the because the Benis as well were the major settlers of that. So now, if we believe that those were the original settlers and they were Yoruba of Yoruba land, because when you look at the information we got from history, we said the Yoruba land, both Lagos of Yoruba land. So when you look at the settlers, the Aworis, the largest, the Jebu, the Egbadu, they are majorly, their speaking language was Yoruba. So I want to see that at that time, it was majorly the Yoruba land. So who wants what should not even be a criteria for somebody trying to be the governor.
Okay. Thank you for that initial contribution. I definitely, like I said, I'm going to come to you on and off because of the device. But while I'm still doing that, keep trying the link I sent to you, and I will try to see if I can accept you. Now, let me quickly go to. Thank you, ma'am. Let me quickly go to my other guest. Let me go to Eileen. I'll come back to you in a minute, Fadike. Eileen,
Yes,
Mrs.
sir.
Eileen Okereke, you are partly Yoruba and partly Igbo. There's this ongoing issue of they're not going to vote a party because it's Igbo party, or they're not going to do this and that. What is your immediate reaction to wanting to go and vote for development, for good governance, but then people will need to be told do not do that because of this and that? How do you react to that kind of situation?
You'll have to pardon me because of this nasty cold that I have.
That's fine.
But for me, every election year is a year of tribal war. A year of tribal war for me, because on the one hand, I've got people pulling me to the right. On the other hand, I've got people pulling me to the left. I belong to several platforms. And when it comes to this issue, they're always, which side are you on? Which side are you on? And the question for me is, should I be on my father's side or should I be on my mother's side? Neutrality for me is the answer. I have to be neutral. I have to look at the candidate, their performance, their pedigree, what they stand for, what they've achieved, and what they're likely to give us. I have to look at their manifesto. And that is where I work from. So for me, it's not a cut and dry thing about whether I'm Igbo or whether I'm Yoruba or what have you. No, it's not that. It's the sensibility behind what we're going for. It's not so much as in the geographical location of Lagos. We mustn't look at that as being the crux of the matter. There is no doubt that the geographical location of Lagos is in Yoruba land. And I'm not going to uproot Lagos and take it to Ondo. I'm not going to uproot Lagos and take it to Onitsha. I'm not going to uproot Lagos and take it to Uyo or to Kalabari. I won't do that because it's impossible. But when you've lived in a place for so long, you excuse me,
That's
you
okay.
tend to identify with that place. So enough said for now. I will continue.
Thank you very much. Viewers all over the place, please, as usual, presenters, host will always ask you to please love, like, share, and subscribe to this program, and remember to click the notification button so you'll be informed next time around. Again, the ongoing topic of tonight is about Lagos and the next coming general election. Why is it about Lagos? An uproar, I use the word, and a kind of sentimental argument started a couple of days ago that some people are thinking that whoever wins, if it's not the indigenous, and I don't know what indigenous is, to be very honest with you, and that's why I'm getting independent opinions from my guest tonight. I'm going to go to another guest, Fadikemi Thomas Gaffa, who is also, I have no doubt in my mind, is 100% Yoruba. And to me, like the last speaker said, there's nothing 100%. It depends. If you want to operate by what the Bible says, where you live is your home. And we don't have this kind of argument all over the place. In America, you meet an American, they will first say, I'm from America, I'm an American. It's only when you say, we're in America. So, Lady Fadike, tell me, what do you think? What is the need for all these controversy? Nobody owns Lagos. What's your contribution?
Thank you, sir. My contribution regarding that question is, I don't know why all of a sudden the Igbos just decided to say Lagos is no man's land, when they know that we have some people that they are the first people to occupy Lagos. And that was where the problem and the controversy started from. So I don't know if there's no one to tell them the story of how Lagos began, who are the people to go there, go. Maybe nobody tells them that story, or the airport decides, say, okay, we don't care about that story. Lagos is no man's land. And more so, anywhere, you can say, okay, where I live, where I am, where I live, I belong to that place, I belong to that community, I belong to that country or whatever. But you always say, okay, we get Babatomokoma Lala. I don't know how to put that in English. Which means that no matter how you are born in a country, you're still not that part of that place. Like what I'm trying to say, I will use England as an example. We are blacks, we live here, we have British passports. But we still have a limit that you are not British, your parents are not British, you are the only British. They still have a way of differentiating us. It may not be open, but we that we live in UK, we know that they do that to us. Or what their own children, what they are entitled to. Some of them were not entitled to it. And I will start from the hospital. There are some things in the hospital that Black people, I'm sorry to say, they are not getting it. Even our children in the school, there are some things that they are not getting in this country. Until when you move out of London and you move to like outside London, then you will understand what I'm saying. Where we have limited Black people, then you will know what we are enjoying. Like me, I don't live in London. I used to live in London before, and I know what I do enjoy in London when I was living there as a Black person, compared to where I'm living now. The kind of treatment I'm getting in terms of job, in terms of hospital and things like that. So they still separate it. But you are not our English. Oh, we show allow people.
Well, but someone will argue and say, well, Nigeria is not UK. Historically, we have always migration is a national thing. It's all over the world. Despite whether we get what is obtainable in America, in Canada, a large number of people will still want to migrate to other places where it's a kilo and one B. But it's okay. Thank you very much for that, your initial contribution. I'm going to come back to you again before I go to Lawyer Iweje. She's on the line. I think the line cut off. I'm going to ask her to I'm so sorry about this. Lawyer Eileen, again, I still want to insist that I want more information about why will anybody insist that you should not vote for somebody whose father is a Yoruba and whose mother happened to be an Igbo. What do you say in that? What does that say to you?
It smacks of
I'm
all.
coming to you in a minute, Doctor. I mean, lawyer Tony. I'm coming to you in a minute. Yeah, sorry, I'm on a live show. You will need to call me back, Sergi, please. Okay, go on, lawyer Eileen.
It smacks of all shades of wrong. Um, why do I say it smacks of all shades of wrong? Because somebody has dual parentage, does that make them not the child of who they say they are? No. The fact that the person has a name that is not the same as their father's tribe, does it make them any different? No. My sister, I think it's Folashade.
No, Fadike.
I beg your pardon, Fadeke, I beg your pardon. My bad. You said something about dancing outside London, which you used to enjoy because there are more white people where you are. That sounds more like racism. It's not sounding like tribe. It's sounding, I enjoy everything I am entitled to in this country. Everything. And it doesn't matter where I live. Scotland is supposed to be like the worst in terms of racism. But if a white person gets this, I will get it because it is my bona fide right. So, I think there's a problem in that regard. But let's leave that aside. I want to make it known that the last Lagosian that I know that has been governor of Lagos State is Mobolaji Johnson. The last. Every other person had come from one state or the other. Every other person had come from one state or the other. If we want to particularize this one now, we're going to be talking about Gbadebo Chinedu Rhodes Vivo, I don't know how the name is pronounced. You want to particularize that young man. And because he's more fluent in Igbo than he is in Yoruba, therefore you say crucify him. Does that remove the Rhodes Vivo blood in his body? The answer is no. Does that mean he is not from Isaliko, where his father's father originates? The answer is no. He can give you his heritage up to 400 years back, all in Lagos. Does that make him any less a Lagosian? No, because his mom is an Igbo woman and then he married an Igbo lady. Therefore, he is supporting Igbos. Excuse me, this young man is somebody who fights for justice. He identified with the Yoruba nation, if I'll have you know. Just the same way he identified with the IPOB here in London. But his mission was, how do we keep ourselves in Nigeria, albeit we're clamoring for independence, but let's try and resolve this thing. Let's remain in the country Nigeria. So, but because he identified with these groups, he's been vilified. And then what happens? The part where he went to agitate with the Yoruba nation was no longer talked about. It was just the IPOB bit. So there is a lot of tribalism card being played here. That's my opinion anyway, and it's subjective. Thank you.
Lawyer Tony Eweje, you heard what the last speaker said. Again, it's the same question. What are we now looking at? Chicken before the egg, or egg before the chicken? Are we now looking at the quality of what an individual candidate want to offer, or we want to look at the background of each and individual candidate? So what do you think? If you can speak up a little bit, madam.
Yes, I'm going to address that issue from the perspective of the Constitution of Nigeria. I'm going to cite one section of the Constitution that says, that's section 15(2) of the 1999 Constitution. And the provision says, national integration shall be actively encouraged, while discrimination on grounds of place of origin, sex, religion, status, ethnic or linguistic association or ties shall be prohibited. So when you look at that constitution, it has addressed the issue of what that last speaker said about the Labour candidate in Lagos State. I don't know why people are bringing the issue of tribe to government. If what's his name, the Labour candidate, Badebo, is qualified to contest, irrespective of his background, which is well accepted, to go and contest. Let people vote for him. People should not use the issue of tribe against him because he's not from, his mom is Igbo and his dad is Yoruba. We should not use that against him. And
Well,
hello.
Hello. We can hear you. I just hope the people outside the studio can hear you. But go on, madam.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, if you look at that position itself, it has addressed the issue of tribe, that we should not discriminate on the ground of origin, on the ground of ethnic, or what have you. Now, going back to what the last speaker said about, is this man qualified to stand for election? And my answer is yes. So I have to emphasize. Now, I've never heard of this man before. Honestly, I've never heard of him. It was just last week that somebody brought him to my attention that is contesting for the post of governorship in Lagos State. And I went to do like, just want to know more about him. Something just pop up like typo and what have you, and I was having like, oh, wait a minute, what does that mean? Just like the woman said, well, the fact that he's associating with the IPOB does not mean that he's not qualified to contest for election. At this stage of our political life, we not exclude tribal sentiments. What we should look for is that person qualified to contest? Does he have pedigree, competence, leadership traits? Those are the things that we should look for. Does he have the competence to rule Lagos State? Lagos State is a cosmopolitan state. Does he have the leader we know to govern? That's what we should be looking for. We should not be looking for whether somebody is Igbo, whether somebody is Yoruba, whether somebody is Buka. What is important that qualifies to bring unity within the state. That is very, very important. The person that we are talking about, yes, is being qualified to bring unity within the state. Does it have the pedigree? Does it have the competence, leadership traits to govern Lagos? That is what
Okay.
paramount consideration.
Thank,
Don't lose stride.
thank you, Lawyer Iwije. I want to ask my guests in the studio. Can you hear the contribution of the other guests we are connecting via telephone? Can you hear her? Let me, Helen. Can you hear the other contributor? Can you hear what she said?
Loud and clear, and I agree with her 100%.
Thank you. Fadike, can you hear her?
Yes, very slightly, but I could grab some of the things that you're
Okay,
saying.
let me now come back to you. Again, the argument, uh, the argument of can any other tribe, or that when they started looking at tribe, can and okay, let's go straight. Can a Yoruba man go and become a governor or a minister in in any part of Igbo land?
Capital no.
So if you say no, that's fine. Is that, should we be using that, uh, having heard what the Constitution says? Uh, should we be using that sentiment to select or elect individual state as a parameter? That because Otumba Olabode is saying combination of Ogun and Lagos State cannot go to Enugu State. I want to be. Uh, well, let me ask you this question: what do you think should happen on the 11th of March when the gubernatorial election comes up? Are you now tell us what you think it should happen, Fadike?
Thank you, sir. To be honest, sir, I'm a Lagosian and I'm Awori. Typical Awori, which are the people that they are
Which I
the owner
happen
of,
to be one.
they are the yes. So you're actually talking to a Lagosian, so it won't be already. In the
Ah,
sense that there is no Awori that is the owner of Lagos that has ever been a governor before. I cannot remember. If I would think about Jakonde, some people are saying Jakonde is from Badagry. If it's from Badagry, that we are supposed to say Lagosian. Some people are saying Jakonde is from Abeokuta. If Abeokuta, then it's not in Lagosian. So what I am expecting on the 11th, Saturday of March, I would prefer an Awori man to be the governor of Lagos State for the fourth time.
okay.
I would prefer an Awori man because that state actually belongs to the Awori. And the Awori themselves, they are not enjoying what the resources in Lagos. They
Okay.
always bring people from other states in Nigeria, like the governor that is there now. He's not a Lagosian. We have not given any Lagosian an opportunity to be the governor. And we are angry in Lagos as well. Why is our own child is not there as a governor? And we are Lagosian, we are the Awori.
Well, who do you blame for that? Who do you blame for that? And from what we just heard from the two contributors, the antecedent, the background of Gbadebo is more of a Lagosian than other two candidates. Isn't that the truth? Because 400 years ago up to today, these are history you cannot erase. You cannot change it. Gbadebo, for me, is more qualified to come out and say, hello, if you are looking for original Lagosian, here I am. Here I am.
No, sir, it's not an original Lagosian. It's 50-50.
Ah,
Why Gender is 100% Lagosian?
Okay.
Yes. Jide's father is from Ojo. Why the mother is from Etiosa, from my side.
Okay.
So it's
So,
100% Lagosian.
all right, that's fair enough. Then the other question I want to go back to to Lawyer Iwije to ask is on the 11th, if majority of the people defy this argument of we want to vote for policies, we want to vote for whoever we are, what's going to happen? Lawyer Iwije?
In any election, I have to emphasize this. The electorate are the major decider.
Hmm.
If the electorate those of us that are just we're doing analysis here and there, whether on Facebook, Twitter, internet, all over the world, we're just on the internet. The major decider of this election are the electorate in Lagos State. And what I mean by that, they had to want to vote. And like I said, on the 11th of March, it is the people that will decide whether they want for High to be their governor, they will be their governor. Then all, it is the people that will decide. I'm not a supporter of that. And because Lagos State, we have never ruled Lagos State before, and we should not vote for somebody who is not competent. The major decider should be the person you're going to vote for. Is he competent enough to rule Lagos? Does he have the energy? Does he have the capacity, the both mental capacity, physical capacity to rule Lagos? Does he have the educational background to rule Lagos? Those are the issues. It has nothing to do whether somebody is from Lagos State, whether it's from Imo State or from anywhere. The major decision should lie with the people of Lagos State. If they want Gbadebo to be their governor, they should go out and mass vote for him. If they want Sanwo-Olu to continue, I've seen a lot of things that Sanwo-Olu has done in Lagos State in terms of delivery of dividends of democracy. He has tried, but that decision does not lie with me. It lies with the people. Let the people decide who they want to be their governor. That is my contribution.
Thank you. To our viewers, I want to re-emphasize that maybe another 5 minutes, one more or two questions to my guest. You can phone in. The number is scrolling on the screen. I can repeat it to you if you like. It's if you are calling from outside, it's +44 7368 465054. If you want to call, and if you are calling from London, just dial direct 07368 465054. You can join in the discussion, and please continue to send in your comments. For me, this is because from experience, do not please send any negative comment. Send constructive, objective comment that bring sense to whatever we are discussing. Now, I'm going to go back to, let me do this with Fadike. Fadike, this issue, if you are showing so much passion, is the passion that you just want a Lagosian to be the next governor? Would that not override the argument, the structure of good governance? Because if I insist it has to be my husband, it has to be my boyfriend, it has to be my man, it has to be this, and we are talking of people who may not know how to dispense good governance. Is your argument not going to defeat that? If it's just, I don't care if it's just as long as it's Lagosian. What do you say?
Thank you. To be honest, I will have said, I don't mind if anybody is governor of Lagos State. But there are some rumors that is going. I've seen a lot of Igbos in the social media saying they want to take over Lagos. Lagos is no man's land. And that is why the Lagosians are actually fighting now. If there is nothing like that, I don't think there will be any problem. Anybody will have been governor of Lagos State. But there's a lot of things going on the social media that the Igbos are fighting. I saw it myself. Every day I saw different things myself. Go there. We have to tell Lagos. Lagos is our own. We own like 60% of Lagos. They are saying all these things. And because Yorubas are very nice, we are so accommodating. We accommodate them. They are even abusing us to the side that we've stole our land to them. So therefore, Lagos belongs to them. If they have not said all these things, I wouldn't mind anybody to be the governor of Lagos State, as long as they are looking after us.
Thank you. And I think the last statement is key. That is the most important part of governance, where government, whether in the local government, in states, federal, whatever, prepare to do two primary preoccupation of governance, where you protect the property and lives of the people. And of course, the third one will follow by generating basic things of life like economy, Medicare, and some other little things. So I'm happy to hear that. But when you say rumor, you and I know that the word rumor sometimes it cannot be substantiated. And when you look at the media of today, I've been in the media for many years, and I find out that in order to make money out of media, you will need to start doing a kind of a rubbish and nonsense. Because when I say this, uh, when you look at the process and procedure to even change certain things in the constitution, it's just not as easy as some people say, it has gone to whatever. And the last election, Helen Obi, I'll come to you in a minute, Lawyer Tunye. If you look at the last election that has now just been completed, and because the labor that was led by an Igbo man, does that say that once a labor man wins in Lagos, he's going to take a while, he's going to convert Lagos to Anambra? What do you say?
That is, is the question for me, sir?
Wait, I'll come back to you. I just quickly want to go to Elaine. I'll come back. The same answer. Lawyer Iweje, do you hear the question? So because I'm coming back to you in a minute. Okay, Lawyer Elaine.
Okay,
I will repeat it to you in a minute. Elaine, did you hear my question?
Please, sir, can you repeat the question?
Okay, no, that the general election has been completed a couple of days ago, and now we're having this governor thing. And some people believe that because the Labour, one of the parties that contested the the presidential election, won in Lagos, and they're now saying if the same thing repeat by itself by electing a Labour governor, what does that mean? Does that mean is that Labour governor who happened to be, is he going to take Lagos anywhere to Anambra or Enugu?
Thank you very much for that question, but it's funny you should ask, because in my first analogy, I did say that you can't remove Lagos and take it to anywhere. You can't take it to Onitsha, you can't take it to Kalabari, you can't take it to Uyo, if you remember.
Yeah.
Lagos will still remain Lagos. And most people who live in Lagos will still continue to live in Lagos. People who generate revenue in Lagos will continue to generate revenue in Lagos. Okay. The fact that he comes from or is ascribed to come from somewhere else. When Fashola was leaving, did he take Lagos to Oyo? No. When Tinubu was governor, did he take Lagos to Iragbiji? No. He governed and he left Lagos where Lagos is. He governed and left Lagos where Lagos is. Nobody's going to remove Lagos from where Lagos is. So that's a very funny question. I was thinking more that the issue is how much of a Lagosian is that person, that was the issue. That's my thought.
Yeah, thank you very much for your thought. I'll come back to you, Madam Iweje, in a minute. But like you heard what Madam Elaine said. Whoever wins Lagos State, whether it remains the chap who is there now from Ondo, or someone who is from Lagos, two from Lagos. Let's assume the person who is not from Lagos wins. Is he going to take Lagos State to his area, or if Gbadebo Viper wins, is he going to move Lagos? Is he going to move anything from Lagos? So should we not be very careful to educate our people, to tell our people things like that will never happen? Just pray and hope for a good administrator, a good governor that will look after your welfare, that will provide you all the basic things. Because at the end of the day, whether overwhelmingly the Igbo supports a particular party, which we are not speaking for anybody now, we are not campaigning, it's still not going to make that particular party to take anything away from Lagos. They cannot change the arrangement, the structure of Lagos under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What do you say to that, Fadike, before I go back to Raimeli?
With the information I gathered, with what the Igbos are saying, and I've said it earlier on, they are saying that 60% or even more of Lagos belongs to them, all because they are trading in Lagos. Now, if because we allow them, we sold some of our land, we rent some of our property to them, and they are saying Lagos belongs to them because they have the giant share in Lagos. If they are now the governor of Lagos State, they will do what? That's how we are thinking. They might even change our obas. They are abusing our obas already. That they will change them and put Igbo. That's what they are saying. That they will change our obas and put their own obas. And all the key places in Lagos, the post, they said we put their own people there. That they want to sweep Yoruba away out of Lagos. That's
Okay.
what we are hearing. And if I said I'm hearing, it's not all of them that is rumors. I know some of the big people in Nigeria, and I know what they told me about it. And I spoke to some of the Obas because I am from the royal family, and I know what I'm hearing from my family as well, and I know what they are telling us.
Okay, Lawyer Iweje.
It's not the first time for Igbo to want to take Lagos. Even in the times of Awolowo, they did the same thing. They wanted to do the same thing in times of Awolowo.
Okay, thank you, Fadike. Lawyer Iweje, you and I and Lady Elaine are more or less in the same area of occupation or profession or education. Both of you are my senior. My senior. Don't use my age. Don't. You both senior me very, very well. I only know that I read law. Now, isn't there a process and procedure to make a fundamental change or changes in a state? Because I know that the local government chairmen are more or less in charge of the obas, and the state governor will ratify the election or selection of an oba.
Yeah.
But then, isn't there one more level to go with the House of Assembly? Let's say in a situation, I just wanted to confirm what I'm trying to say. If for example, tomorrow, somebody who they don't want to, somebody won, and the majority of House of Assembly members, which is the legislative aspect of it, do they have any role to play before you can change your of Lagos?
Yes. Now, let me start from the what the Constitution says about somebody becoming a governor.
Yes.
Because I'm going to address issues and incorporate it with the House of Assembly. Now, for you to become a governor in Lagos, anywhere in Nigeria, for you to be a governor, there are specific requirements that you have to meet, which is specified under Section 177(1) of the 1999 Constitution. Now, the requirement is that you must be a citizen by birth, you must have attained 35 years of age, you must have been nominated by a political party, be a member of a political party, and you have been sponsored by a political party. Then, those are the requirements for you to contest for governorship. Now, when you look at that provisions of the law, once you meet those requirements of the law, then you are free to go and contest election. Those are the requirements of the law for you to contest. Now, in view of what is going on in Lagos State, I'm aware that during the presidential election, Labour Party won overwhelmingly in Lagos State. I think they led by 10,000 votes over APC. Now, when you look, I'm now going to compare and contrast what happened in 1999 when Obasanjo contested for the presidency, and people voted during the presidential election. People voted PDP for the presidential election. But during the governorship election, the issue of party and personality came into being. And that was what affected people, and people voted en masse for the AD as a party, just by the start. Now, if anybody wants to win election in Lagos State as it is, we have to look at the House of Assembly, the composition.
Mm.
If APC has majority in the House, as it is now, I think they only have about 80% of House of Assembly members. Now we're going to have another election on Saturday, which is House of Assembly and the governorship.
Yes.
For any party or any person that wants to contest election as a governor, the composition of the House of Assembly must. What I mean by that is, for example, just take for instance, they must have highest number of House of Assembly members. They must have at least 80% of them winning their election back to the House of Assembly. But if the other party, Labour Party, presents their own candidate, who is Gbadebo or whatever, and they don't have majority of Labour Party members in the House of Assembly, there's a problem.
So one of the possible problems you're looking at is the impeachment and so.
Yes, I'm looking at it because politicians in Nigeria sometimes you can't even trust them. By the time they say that, oh well, let's just wait, we can't be sure. Probably the Labour Party might just have majority members in there, which I doubt very much. But if the APC has majority of members in the House of Assembly, and you have the Labour Party as a governor, that there is a problem, there might be an impeachment.
Probably. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Let me reiterate this program, what it's all about. We are trying to educate. I have no doubt in my mind that each one of us here, we have this is what we call interest, because the only thing that's permanent is interest. Interest here, interest there is very, very key in governance. But at the same time, I'm looking at all of us talking about what is important for our people, because most of us talking here, we're in our comfort zone. We have light, we have water, we have everything, basic things of life. And our people, they are living both in the center and the outskirts of Lagos. They are suffering. People are, even those who think they are rich, they spend a substantial part of their money on electricity, on power, and so many things. Even on security, those things we take it for granted here. Now the question again is this: if we insist that on the 11th, our people should vote en masse, do not forget we will need to start asking questions. Right? If you don't want to vote a particular party, because the idea here is in elections you only vote for parties, not personal, not the person leading whatever it is. That's what the law says. So if we now, because of this, there is likelihood they are going to take a Jumata and change it to Anambra Center. They want to do this, they want to do that. If we have that notion and we now go and vote again for somebody who doesn't know who doesn't know how to govern, isn't that going to be a problem, Ellen? You hear my question?
Yes, I did. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say that if the masses vote for somebody with competence and capability, it is because they believe he has competence and capability. And because he has competence and capability, his integrity will not permit him to move Idumota from Idumota to Anambra. So the people who have vested their votes on him know what he is about and know who he is and trust that he will do the right thing for Lagos State. So thinking that an Igbo man will now become the Oba of Lagos or the Akran of Badagry. It's not thinkable.
Not.
It's not thinkable because the people of Badagry will choose who their king is or who their king will be. So it's all of these things are rumors and fallacies. People just conjure just because they want you to vote in a particular way. They start telling you stories. May I tell you that there is a Yoruba man contesting in Abia, Umahia Central District for the State House of Assembly. His name is Anthony Abiola. He has a mother who is Yoruba, I beg your pardon, a mother who is Igbo, and the father who is Yoruba. But he's lived in Igbo land for so long. The people have accepted him. I mean, it's obvious he's going to win. And nobody's telling him, you're an Igbo man, you're a Yoruba man, go back to where you come from. You can check it out. Umahia Central District. That's where he's contesting.
I read about him. Yes, I know about him. Yeah.
But nobody's telling him to go. Nobody's telling him that, if we give you, you will now carry our constituency. You will carry it to Ogun State. Nobody's doing that.
Thank you. I'm going to go to another area which is also very important in this program, in this show. That is the area of the Yorubas who are saying Yoruba, Yoruba, Yoruba. But all of you contributing on this program are aware that there is a movement called Yoruba Nation Self-Determination, and majority of these people are, are saying that what impact is it going to have on us now that probability if an Igbo party wins, which is rhetoric that I sometimes find it difficult to to change. More or less comes to the same. But have you any of you want to start that Yoruba self-determination movement? What do you think about Yoruba self-determination movement, Madam Iweje?
I'm not, I have to be honest, and this is from the bottom of my heart, I am not in support of any movement at all. Yoruba Nation. No. I am a Nigerian, I'm first of all a Yoruba person. I'm a Nigerian. And because of the effort of our forefathers, to bring us to, independence and everything, I thought we should just be one. As I'm not saying that we cannot go our separate ways in the future, but there are procedures to be followed to do that. We're not going to do it violently. For me, personally, I am not in support of Yoruba Nation or Igbo Nation or Hausa Nation. I just want us to be one Nigeria. That is me. That's my opinion.
Before I pass the same question to other two guests I have here, if someone says to you that since the last 60 years, this group of people, the Yoruba, are not making progress that they're supposed to be making, because the constitution of Nigeria is so contracted, make it impossible for nations that are big, and for people like Yoruba. I know there are many other nations in the country called Nigeria, because I can refer to many other, the Joe there, the Igbo there, the Broms, and many other. They want to also have the Delta. They also want to have their nation. But I'm talking about Yoruba today. So if they say to you, lawyer Madam Iweje, that the 1999 constitution made it impossible for this group set of people to develop, they have lost to development in terms of you have to go to Central in Abuja to take orders to police to generate electricity, to generate some other things. And a good example is that of security.
Yeah.
What will you say to that person?
Yes, okay, hold on. Well, to address that point of view from the perspective of the Constitution. If you look at the Constitution, it says we have three lists: exclusive list, concurrent, and residual.
Yes.
Under the exclusive list, that item under that list is meant federal government to legislate on. Under the residual, that is for the state. And the concurrent one are the ones that both federal and the state legislate on.
Yeah.
Now, if the advocates of Yoruba nation are saying because there's no development, because of the inadequacies in the constitution, then what we can advocate regionalism. We can advocate for that. We can ask the National Assembly to have a look at the constitution. All those exclusive lists that is left for the federal government should be ceded to the state for the governor to let to take on. We can advocate for regionalism to do that. We don't have to go and separate because we can do that. We can achieve that if the National Assembly can make an amendment to the Constitution. All those items specified under the exclusive list can move to the list. Just one is concurrent. We have on security, power, and all of them. And the exclusive list can be ceded to the residual. We can advocate for regionalism instead of one going separately.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. The only problem I have with your line of argument is you and I know very well, and the three of us, I'll be surprised if we are going to disagree on this common area of argument. You know that to change, because you use the word can, to change the one aspect of the residual from the concurrent and exclusive list and so on and so forth. You know,
No, exclusive, yeah, concurrent and residual.
Yeah.
Concurrent is both the federal government and the state.
that's fine. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, in order to bring some of what we need, because the state is the residual. In order to bring anything from the federal, but you and I know that we need to change the constitution, and to change the constitution, again, like I said, the contracted 1999 constitution will make it impossible.
Very
But, yeah, it's because at the end of the day, we will need to start from 774 local governments, changes, put in, put out, and at the end of the day, we need to vote on. But let me quickly go to, I'm coming to you, Fadeke. Lawyer Helene, this procedure I've just tried to argue, is it, am I right, or is something I'm missing? If you want to change the narrative, you want to change the dynamics of groups of people, for example, Yoruba, who believe they don't have enough power. They want to be on their own to be able to regulate, carry out their own way of life, because there are many things that we are just not having in common. The lifestyle of the North is completely different from that of Igbo and that of Yoruba. What's your take on this movement, the Yoruba nation and then the Igbo nation?
Thank you very much for that. I identify that the Constitution is so lopsided that anytime an attempt is made to review or do anything to it, it is almost impossible because of its lopsidedness. It therefore means that unless there is that breakaway, the Yorubas will not have what they ought to have, and the Igbos will not have what they ought to have, except if the dynamics change such that there is a different person at the helms of affairs who can then say, use the executive, the exclusive powers, like my sister said, and make that initiate that the Constitution be amended because it is lopsided. I hope I'm making I sound like a cryptic puzzle, but I'm sure you're understanding what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, unless the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution as amended, is changed or re-amended, we will continue to have these agitations.
But I've just said, I'm coming to you in a minute, Lady Fadike, that to change, that's going to be a kind of a mirage. It's just not going to happen, just like that, because you and I, we agreed on the process and the procedure. The process will be going through 774 local governments. Are you there? Yeah? Yeah, if we go through that, the procedure will have to, like, we bring it back to the House of Rep and Senate to vote on them. The people that will disagree.
House of Assembly as well.
Yes, exactly. Go through all the local government and so on. The majority of people that will finally torpedo, that will make sure it doesn't happen, are in the north. They will not agree to these changes. I don't know whether I'm making sense, Helen.
Yes, you are making sense, which is exactly what I said. Because of its lopsidedness, it will fall at onset. It won't take off.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Fadike, again, you and I and million others that I know are agitating. We want Yoruba nation. I feel cool. I feel low. What are the benefits of wanting to achieve our own nation? Can you tell our viewers what are the benefits of saying we want to leave? Because a lot of people like say, why don't you want to stay where you are and make things work in Nigeria? What are the benefits of people who say we want to go?
Thank you, sir. I support the Yoruba edition. I want us to support. Let us
Can you speak up a little bit, please?
I said, I'm in support of it. I want everybody to go in their different ways. Let Yoruba
Yeah.
go, Hausa and Igbo go. We've been together for so many years, and nothing. We are not getting anything. In terms of our culture, I mean, our lifestyle, everything. It's not. We are not the same. If everybody stands on their own, let them generate their own revenue in their own side. Let everybody be in their own space. Let the Yoruba be the Yorubas. Because we don't even understand each other anyway. We've been together for so many years. Nothing has changed. Nothing. So it's better we just that doesn't mean we will not be friends. That doesn't mean we will not be buying things from ourselves. I mean, England and Ireland were together before. Now they've separated, including Wales. But they are still together. They are not enemies. So there's nothing wrong in us going our separate ways.
Okay. Again, let me repeat that people can start coming in. They can phone in now if you want to. Please phone in to contribute if you want to. The number again is +44 if you are calling from outside the UK. 7368 465054 if you want to call to contribute. You are welcome now. The line is open. If you want to contribute, you want to add or ask questions, feel free to do so. Lady Eweje, did you agree that the hurdle of wanting to change anything in the constitution is subject to the majority, because people say minority will always have their say, and constitution, even though it's not really recommended, the Constitution of America that is over 300 or whatever years, they have not touched it. I think maybe a couple of times they touched it for some reason fundamental. But we tried November year before the last, where the deputy Senate leader headed a group to want to reform or change the constitution. They ended up not getting it done. So go on.
Yes, are you aware? I'm not sure whether you are aware that when the last president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, organized a conference in 2000, was it 2014?
Yeah, 2014, correct. Yeah. I remember. I was in Nigeria then.
You were in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Were you aware that the participants at that conference actually make recommendations for the amendment to the constitution? And that they came up with a lot of amendments, a lot of sections were had to be expunged from the Constitution. They make a very, very lofty recommendation in area of getting some powers to the state from the exclusive list to the residual, and also moving some powers like power, security, education is in the concurrent list, power, security, and some other police, all of them to be moved to the residual. Those are the lofty recommendations made by the members, the people that participated in that conference. And that is what I have been advocating, that we should have a visit to that conference recommendation. But nobody is listening. Let's just put that aside. Just in the National Assembly, they have a way of, if you want to amend the Constitution, there are procedure to be followed. Section 9 to the 1999 Constitution is there. It's well specified how you can go about it. But there is a lot of documents, like a lot of factors militating against us having a headway, because those that drafted the 1999 Constitution put a lot of sections in the Constitution that is not really possible for you to have a headway. And until those sections are removed, we're going to be back to square one. But in all, I still want to believe that we can still do it. If the National Assembly are up to the task, they know what they are doing, they are for the interest of the people, they are not for their own personal aggrandizement, they can still sit down and look at the Constitution and remove some of the sections that is constituting like a militating factor against us moving forward as a nation.
Thank you.
I'm not against those advocating for Yoruba nation, Igbo nation. I'm not against them. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that if we want progress for our nation, like my tribe, Yoruba as a whole, as a nation, then we can still get it without separating from Nigeria. Regionalism is the option.
Well, okay, Fadeke, are you happy to hear that we can still get Yoruba nation if we put more effort to some certain things that we need to do? Are Yoruba people going to be satisfied? Are they going to be happy and say, okay, Yoruba nation within Nigeria? Are you regionalism in another way? Is that what Yoruba people want? Or we want a total opt-out?
We want a total opt-out. We don't want a total opt-out. That's what we want. We want to go our separate way.
Okay. Ellen, again, you are both, fortunately and unfortunately now, you are both Yoruba and Igbo. So when Igbo goes first, you go away. And if Yoruba also, you...
No, don't worry. I'll have dual citizenship.
I'm going to divide you into two.
I will have dual citizenship, just like I have Nigeria and UK.
So the only one you will just throw away will just be Nigeria. It will just be Yoruba land.
I might not even throw that one away.
In case. Now I want to thank all of you. I have marked that it's going to be not going to be more than 1.5 hours because of time, and because of the possibility that you're all mothers and you want to celebrate today with your families, and also it's still of joy for me that I call Akbeyi Ewa, and that is good. I want people to please love. It's not a monetized program. I always say that this program is not monetized. It's my own NGO. It's my own little pet that I've been managing for some years, and I genuinely believe that the information we have shared on this program today will make a lot of this. If we want to recap, I want to recap most of what my guests have said. Yes, at the end of the day, even one of the contributors agree that good governance is the key, is what everybody wants, apart from issue of somebody. And I'm sure it has been said here clearly that it is not possible. It is not possible for any elected government, whether it comes to Kafancha anywhere, it cannot take the development in Itatinumbu, in Nnamdi Azikiwe Road or whatever, or the way Lagos is, and it's going to be very difficult to replace Oba of Lagos with and all the Amobas that is in Lagos. The very difficult. It is not. I don't think it's foreseeable that anybody that is not directly, because if that is possible, probably most of the Oba will have been replaced by people from Ilaroji. I mean, where's the former governor is? Governor Tinubu. They probably
Iragbiji.
Iraqi. The only thing I think they can always change in Lagos is the governorship. There are a lot of things they will not be able to change over for Ota, because I'm from Awori, Yewa, and some other places. They will not be able to take that away from the indigenous. That has happened. I must say, from experience, you all agree with me. It happened in Australia, it happened in Canada, and also happened also in America, where the indigenous, the original people who are there, they were displaced and they took over their government. But I don't think that is going to happen in Lagos State. So, women, I want to appreciate you. I want you to, if you don't have any callers coming in, I appreciate some of the comments. None of them is all that. Everybody, they greet you. Happy International Women's Day and so on. Baba Confirm International. I don't know what that means. Baba Confirm International. Fair enough. People like to enjoy their freedom of speech. They, as long as they don't write anything, because if they do that, I will reply them. I'm an independent broadcaster. I do not share sentiment. Or you can also say no. I will not. I will not be rude to anybody. If anybody is rude to me, I'll just give it back to them. It doesn't bother me. 76, no nonsense. So I can say that loud. So, lady, I mean, women, I don't want to say ladies. Otherwise, it's reducing your status to ladies. You're all in your prime age, big age, old age, whatever. I want to thank you very much for coming. Final words from Lady Fadeke. Final word. What do you want to say? 1 minute.
The only thing I wanted to say is regarding the Obas that you're talking about. Earlier on, I told you I'm from a royal family, and I know what I am going through, because they've taken what belongs to me and they give it to somebody else. In terms of our governor, they've changed the.
Was it your Igbo or Hausa?
No, it's still to our Yoruba. So
Okay,
if
all right.
Yoruba
Yeah,
can do
I
it,
just want to get that clear.
any other person can do it.
Yeah.
So because the Obas now in Yawori is politics now. They don't want to use all our Ifa and things like that to take over anymore. And from there, they've stolen my royal family away from me, because we are not a politician. The Oba there now is a politician, and they put him there because he's a politician. Even Oni of Ife, even Elegushi, his brother was supposed to be there, but because they are all politicians, they start putting their own people there. So if Igbo is there now, they can still do it as well. If my people can do it to me, then Igbo can as well do it.
Okay.
Because they will refer to me and say, when your people were there, they didn't do it to you. Don't they do that to you? They did it to you. What did you do about it?
Okay, thank you. Well, and this, I quickly want to add a small caveat to that. This is the problem when we say to some of us who are agitating to leave, to detach or to disconnect with Nigeria. I have always argued, and I'm sure maybe one or two other contributors will agree. That thing you just said now is a political process. There's nothing anybody can say. He just said it, that the person that your family were changed for a politician. Isn't that enough argument to say that everybody will realize? And there are politics in your house. There are politics everywhere. Monday to Friday of our life, because there are two major entities. It's either political or place. So it's going to be very difficult. I hope your family will revert to legal means, legal advice, and they get what they deserve back. Ellen, before your final thought, please.
Thank you very much, Otumba. I just wish everybody well on the 11th of March as they go out to vote. Vote your conscience, vote competence, vote capability. and just let your votes count. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Lady Wager, before you go, and then I make my own final request, I need to bring you, all of you, back for another topic. But Lady Wager, what's your final word?
Yeah, my final word is on the 11th of March, people should go out and vote. Vote the best thing that they believe can address security challenges, improve the educational system, healthcare system, housing for all. Those are the things that they should be guided for them to vote for the person that has the capability and capacity to deliver dividends of democracy. They should eschew all kinds of tribal sentiments in their decision. That's my word.
Thank you very much. So, my people, so you have it. There we're going to end the. I'm going to draw the curtain today. Some people have been saying on my private number that why are you so sure that you can manage 4 women? One, unfortunately, did not join us from Lagos. I can imagine maybe the network. And what I said to them, is, if you push me to go to South Africa, there's a country in South Africa. If you guys are harassing me to go to South Africa, these are just 4. They are not mine. But if you push me to South Africa, not South Africa, what's the name of the area in South Africa where by force you must marry 5? As you are entering the country, by the airport, say, hello, how long are you going to stay? If you say, oh, I'm looking, I might be staying for about 6 months. Oh, fantastic. Yes. Make sure the second month of your stay, 5 women, they will give it to you. Pay everything. So I told my friends, start harassing me. Oh. If you harass me out of the UK, I will go to that place and I'll be self-sufficient. Anyway, I want to thank all of you again.
Sorry, sir. Some people are sending messages to me that they've been calling your number, it's ringing, and you are not picking.
Well, I must say, if the number are called, if they ring, I should hear it from here. Even though, because I have a 2 SIM card phone, I'm using one to connect one of my guests, and the other one should be ringing. It could be a network, whatever. But hopefully next time I will. And also, I want to say to the whole world, it's a one-man business. I do it just to, not to make ends meet, but just to get people informed. See what we have discussed here today. People should go and vote on the 11th of March. Not voting for a particular, but to vote for people they believe will provide good dividends of democracy. What are these good dividends of democracy? Starting from basic amenities. You know, and at the end of the day, because whether you like it or not, people will remain ordinary, and those people are like, they see themselves as on top of it. Unfortunately, that only happens in Africa. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate. Have a lovely weekend. I hope I will be able to send you invite again, and you'll be able to come and join me in my studio for another topic, not necessarily vote and no vote. Thank you. Bye bye. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.